Outside New York City, Sam is in a lodge where they treat her cancer. Because she does not have important time left, she feels veritably pessimistic and does not have numerous musketeers outside her cat Frodo. During group remedy, she reads her poetry, but the words just describe how important she hates everything. Care worker Ruben no way gives up on her and tells her to come with other cases to the megacity to watch a puppet show. Sam agrees if she gets to have pizza at a specific place subsequently. After changing her drug patch and putting a leash on Frodo, Sam leaves with the group in a machine. As the vehicle crosses the ground, Sam sees a bunch of spurts fly by. At the theater, at first Sam enjoys the play, but when it takes a sad turn she relates too important and decides to leave. While she goes to the store to get some delicacy, she notices a bunch of police buses passing by at full speed. Also Sam goes looking for Ruben, who's on an important phone call that suddenly ends over lack of signal. He tells Sam that their group is going back because there's commodity passing in the megacity, and Sam gets worried because they are not having pizza. When Ruben says he's just trying to be a good friend, Sam reminds him he's just her nanny before getting on the machine. She notices the other cases at the reverse looking through the window, and some weird noises can be heard in the distance. Sam comes to take a look too and is shocked to see meteors falling from the sky as an alarm starts wailing through the megacity. A meteor falls near the machine and a huge explosion knocks everyone down. With ringing cognizance, Sam manages to stand up in the broken machine and walks out, chancing the area covered in a dust pall. Wounded people walk past her as she tries to find her way around, and more explosions are heard each around the megacity. A roar suddenly echoes near Sam and a man is dragged down by his bases. Scarifying, Sam runs down and finds a dog face telling her to take cover, but he's taken as well. Sam incontinently hides behind an auto with another person and watches in horror as a horrifying critter appears, meaning the meteor shower was actually an alien eruption. A man distracts the monster and Sam runs again, but at that moment an ambulance arrives and is attacked by the critter. Another explosion happens and Sam is knocked out as she hits a wall. Moments laterally, Sam wakes up inside a structure, and Henri snappily covers her mouth when she coughs, asking her to be silent. Sam looks around and discovers she's brought into the theater, where a bunch of survivors are hiding and taking care of injuries. Sam gets to reunite with Ruben and Frodo too. Soon a copter canvasses above the area, asking the citizens to stay retired and silent until they admit further instructions. It turns out the brutes attack by following noise, and they now go after the copter, causing the whole structure to shake. Frodo gets spooked and runs down, so Sam goes after him and finds tons of dead bodies. She steps on some debris and causes a brickle noise, so she freezes in fear as Ruben catches up to her. They notice an alien walking outdoors and stay for it to go down, but unfortunately Sam moves and accidentally skirmishes past a bell on a costume, making it ring. Sam rushes to snare her cat and hides behind cabinetwork as the alien bursts through the door and quests for implicit victims while remonstrating around the bodies. It indeed puts its face veritably near to Ruben but doesn't find him, attesting the aliens are eyeless. At that moment the copter canvasses by again, so the alien runs out of the structure to follow it. There's lots of shaking and another explosion outdoors, but Ruben and Sam don't move until it's over. Subsequently, Sam washes her face and removes the now depleted drug patch. Next, she checks on a woman using a radio to pick on calls from authorities. It seems a sanctum is in place and they want people to stay for instructions. They also want everyone to stay down from islands. Stickers on a globe indicate aliens are attacking all over the world. Suddenly the survivors hear a bunch of losers going off and rush to the roof, where they're affrighted to discover the service is destroying the islands to keep the aliens from escaping since they can't swim. The group watches how the islands go down one by one, and a survivor starts freaking out, saying they're trapped and going to die. Henri rushes to cover his mouth and the Joe tries to fight him off, so they struggle until Henri accidentally hits the man's head against the wall, killing him. Laterally, while they stay for deliverance, Sam tells Ruben that she's going to Harlem for pizza by writing it down. Ruben tries to make her stay, but their discussion is intruded when the power goes out and the creator starts, causing lots of noise. A hopeless Ruben runs outdoors and snappily turns the creator off, but when he steps down, his clothes get wedged and ripped, which makes noise again. An alien suddenly jumps out and attacks Ruben, killing him while Sam covers her mouth to avoid screaming. As soon as the sun comes out, Sam takes Frodo and eventually leaves for Harlem. On the way, she watches all the destruction in the megacity, not to mention the blood and deers in every corner. After grabbing some inventories from a store, she goes to sit near a root so the water noise can offer cover. She precisely opens a can and feeds Frodo before noticing two kitties hiding under the root, so she offers them some snacks as well. At that moment, the copters appear again, publicizing that boat evacuations have begun at the South Seaport. The noise attracts the brutes, who start climbing structures to try to attack. Sam drags the kitties into a lair, and they stay as they watch the aliens run through the thoroughfares, causing lots of shaking and debris to fall down. When it looks clear, Sam tries to come out, only for an alien to block the way with a piece of structure. As Sam runs back, the alien stops a moment to check the area, but it doesn't hear anything and leaves. Also, the group comes out and discovers all the other survivors coming out of their caching places to go to the harborage. Sam tells the kitties to follow the crowd, but she starts moving in the contrary direction. The sound of so numerous way together attracts the aliens, who soon start jumping down from the structures to attack the survivors. People fear as the brutes throw a auto and beget yet another explosion, knocking Sam down. Frodo escapes from her arms and runs down in fear. Sam wants to follow him, but the scarifying crowd keeps pushing her down as they try to run down, so she can only coil and cover her head from being stomped on. Each around her people are falling and dying, so when she sees an opening, Sam crawls to hide under an auto. A man follows her and grabs her legs as he begs for help, but he's suddenly dragged down by an alien. Sam's bottom gets stuck under the auto, still she manages to pull it out after some struggle and crawls out to keep looking for her cat. Ultimately, her body is too tired and in pain to keep going, so she collapses in an alley. Meanwhile, Frodo is chasing after a rat and stops to drink water from a swamped shelter station. At that moment, Eric emerges from the water in a state of fear, but seeing Frodo helps him calm down, so he follows the cat until they find Sam. She tells Eric to follow the crowd and leaves with Frodo, but Eric follows her rather. When it starts raining, they introduce themselves and Sam tells him about the boats, but Eric admits he's alarmed of dying alone and Sam lets him come on. By the nighttime, they make it to Sam's apartment, and since she's missing her key, Eric kicks the door open at the same time thunder strikes as cover noise. While Sam looks for her drug, Eric explains his parents are in England and he came then to study law, so he has nothing. In return, Sam shares her plan to get pizza, and Eric promises to help her anyhow of her demurs. He also finds a picture of Sam's pater, who used to play the piano, and her tablet full of poetry. Reading her jotting makes Eric realize Sam is a terminal case that doesn't have important time left, so she's staying before to fulfill her last want. When thunder strikes again, Sam screams in frustration and Eric joins her. Coming morning, Sam sees a critter appearing at the window, but it's just a dream. She notices Eric is still sleeping, so she and Frodo leave without him. Moments laterally, she stops at a bookshop that got destroyed by the attack, and this allows Eric to catch up to her. He gives her back the poetry tablet and Sam agrees to let him come on. As Sam stands up, she accidentally drops some books and makes noise. They incontinently hear the aliens approaching, so they run down and try to hide inside a structure. The door gets stuck on a briefcase and Eric pushes extra hard to open it, which causes noise again and makes an alien land right behind them. The brace starts running through the corridors as the critter chases after them, shrilling to call its peers that jump through the glass ceiling. After lots of wandering around, Sam, Eric, and Frodo manage to get out of the structure and return to the thoroughfares. Eric breaks an auto window to spark the alarm and the alien's attention falls on the vehicle, allowing the group to escape into the shelter lair. Down there, they move precisely to avoid the bodies and the blood, only to discover an alien waiting on the escalator. Thankfully, it doesn't hear them, so the group precisely walks down from it and ends over in the swamp tracks. As they walk through the water, they see another alien inside a hole in the ceiling, who doesn't reply for now. Moments laterally, they reach an area where the water is too high, causing Eric to have a fear attack over the recollections of nearly drowning. Seeing the aliens approach, Sam covers Eric's mouth and tries to console him to keep him quiet. Sorely, an alien finds them anyway, so they start moving as presto as possible while keeping Frodo round. The critter is too fast and is about to reach them, meaning they've no choice but to push Frodo into Sam's bag and dive in to syncope down. The alien passes following them aquatic too, still it can't syncope and snappily drowns. Ultimately, the group resurfaces and Frodo runs down while Eric helps Sam get out of the water. They climb out of a hole in the ceiling and find themselves in a church, where Sam passes out. After featuring about her pater soliciting for her, Sam wakes up and incontinently throws up. Eric notices she's in great pain, so he asks what kind of drug she needs. Subsequently, Eric goes to the drugstore, and while searching for the drug, he's startled by a noise, but it turns out to be Frodo. Once he has what he needs, Eric starts making his way back. Still, Frodo goes wandering into a construction point, and Eric has no choice but to follow him. He precisely sneaks around and finds the place on fire, but Frodo is just nipping. At that moment, an alien shows up and Eric snappily hides. Still, Frodo is relatively exposed on the essence ray he's resting on. Eric starts climbing up, trying to stay calm while hearing the alien screech to call its creepy musketeers, and they feed on the bodies together. When Eric moves to reach Frodo, an alien comes too close to him, so he freezes and waits until the beast leaves without hearing him. Moments laterally, Eric and Frodo return to the church and give Sam her drug. While she recovers, Sam explains that when she was a child, she loved watching her father play piano at a jazz club. After the show, he would always take her to Patsy's to have pizza. In the end, he failed of cancer like she's dying now. Eventually understanding her last want, Eric promises he'll get her pizza. The coming morning, they leave the church and go directly to Patsy's pizzeria, only to discover it's been burned down. A devastated Sam cries and falls to her knees, so Eric rushes to console her and asks about the jazz club. Minutes laterally, they make it to the club and Sam gets to recharge her eye cover while she gets to see her father's piano again. Eric goes out to find a pizzeria, and when he comes back, he writes Patsy's on a box before surprising Sam with factual pizza. They get to eat and drink as a break, and indeed Frodo steals a slice. Eric also finds a sundeck of cards and pretends he's on a magic show to surprise Sam with a card trick that leaves her relatively impressed. Subsequently, they go to the deck and see the boat about to leave the harborage while numerous aliens gather around the reinforcement. Sam gifts Eric her jacket, also they eventually leave. When they reach the harborage, they precisely sneak around not to be heard and hide behind a burned auto, where they can watch the brutes from hence. Eric nearly has another fear attack, but Sam helps him stay calm through it. Also, Sam hands him Frodo and tells him to run before she comes out of caching. As she runs around, Sam starts hitting a bunch of buses to spark the admonitions, causing the aliens to go after her. Sam is feeling further weak by the alternate, so her movements are getting slow. On the boat, Henri sees all this chaos and asks the authorities to stay for another survivor. As soon as he sees an opening, Eric runs down with Frodo, but they hit some trash on the way and the noise makes the aliens start chasing them rather. When the beasts make a quick run and are about to catch him on the pier, Eric jumps and falls into the water, where the aliens can't follow him. After participating one last farewell look with Sam, Eric swims toward the boat and the survivors snappily help him and Frodo get aboard. Once he eventually gets to rest, Eric discovers Sam left a note in her jacket asking him to take care of Frodo and thanking him for everything. Back on land, a crying Sam gapes at an old picture of her family. As she listens to Nina Simone's Feeling Good on her eye cover, she stands in the middle of the road and disconnects the earphones so the music makes an alien appear behind her. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.